Perfect. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you all know, this is about the Virtual StarLion Journey that's coming up from the 1st to the 4th of July. And I just wanted to do an overview of what I'm going to cover today, what we're going to cover today. So we're going to start off with the grounding and connecting meditation, which I do with all my calls. And then I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Virtual StarLion Journeys and what they kind of practically look like. We're going to cover the heart work, heart energy, achieving real transformation, which is what the journeys are actually all about. Then we're going to open up for questions, and then we'll do a heart meditation to close. Okay. So in this photograph, it's quite an old photograph, probably about 8 years old, I'd say. And this is of Zucara. And I chose this one to do the meditation, the opening meditation with, because it's also the winter landscape of the heartlands, as we call them. And that is in July, that's the middle of winter, and this is what everything looks like. And this is, you know, I remember in the early days, and people say, oh, the white lions are freaks of nature because they're not camouflage, but they certainly are camouflage in the endemic homelands. So this is I just always loved this picture taken by Sally Wellbeloved, who's a photographer in Cape Town. Okay, so enough of me waffling now, and let's just get ourselves comfortable.
Shall we turn our videos off, Wynter?
Yeah, I think let's turn our videos off, and I'll actually turn mine off as well because it can be a bit distracting. Okay, so just make yourself really comfortable. Feel your feet firmly on the ground. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. And take a few deep belly breaths in and out, and feel yourself relaxing into the chair beneath you, and feel the support of Mother Earth in every way. On your next in-breath, just feel your mind quieten. Perhaps listen to the sounds of nature that may be surrounding you. I've just heard the baboons murmuring in the forest. And now become aware of a beautiful rose gold light surrounding us. And this symbolizes the unconditional love of Mother Nature. Just feel that warmth and light surrounding us all. Now, as you breathe, take your focus down to your heart space in the center of your chest. And breathe that light into your heart space. Breathe that unconditional love. See it and feel it filling up your heart, cleaning and clearing any heaviness, any pain or trauma that may be sitting with you at this time. Just feel it lifting and dissolving and clearing just for this moment while we're together. And now feel your own connection with Mother Nature, the unconditional love that you have for all beings, for all of nature's beings, the animals, the birds, the plants, the waters, the soil. And feel that love that's in your heart start to expand from your heart center, moving out beyond the borders of your physical body into the environment, and feel that love connecting you with all that is, connecting you with everyone who is on this call today, and everyone who will be watching the replay. We include all beings in our hearts at this time, in this safe, protected space. We feel the connection. We know that there is no separation. And we ask for the guidance of Mother Nature at this time. And let us feel the gratitude and joy of being able to feel this connection and to do this work in service of nature. Take your focus on your breath. And once more, feel your feet firmly on the ground. Become aware of your body, the seat beneath you. Take a deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, everyone. I'm not sure if you can hear the murmurs of the baboons. I don't know if my microphone cancels them out, but they were murmuring quite a bit at the beginning and then at the end, being very polite. Okay. So I just wanted to start off with the intentions for the actual StarLion journey. We've changed the format of the journey. From the very first one was a 6-day journey, but we found that the 4-day journey is actually more doable for people. But the intentions are very similar. And really it is about tuning in to nature's energy with the assistance of the white lions and all that they represent. It's also to assist people to become more familiar with animal communication, or interspecies communication rather, because we don't just connect with the animals, we connect with the trees, with the land, with the water. And I've put here a heart storm with Mother Nature, because that really is what it is. We connect, we meet with our hearts, and we receive information and guidance from nature. It might be from a particular lion or animal that you connect with, or a tree, or it might be just from nature in general. Receiving the information to find out how we as a group or as an individual can assist at this time. And then we take action. So we start working with positive visualization, which may not sound like an action, but it actually is. It can be an action to take healing action for nature, but then also physical action. So whether you go off and do your own work in your own communities, or work together as a pride, which is what our first pride did. And we work with sacred activism. So that's love in action. So it's combining the banner waving and the petition signing with guidance from nature, with love, our absolute love and respect for what is really needed at this time, and being guided from the divine energy of Mother Nature. Does that sound right? Do you want to add anything?
Yeah. Wasn't it Andrew Harvey's
Yes.
expression?
So sacred activism is a term coined by Andrew Harvey, and he's written many books about it. And he talks about love in action, and this is what is needed at this time. So the virtual journey started, and you may have heard me speak about this before, really in lockdown. At the beginning of 2020, I had a group of people booked to come to the White Line Trust. And it really is a way of me being able to support the trust financially, but also with community, with people who are like-minded and want to support the trust in a spiritual way as well as a financial way. And when lockdown happened, I just felt, wow, I just thought, what are we going to do? How can I now continue this support? Because the trust, really, the bread and butter of the finances was at that time taken care of by the visits, the group visits, and it's not open to the general public, as you know. So it's only very specialized groups that are available to visit. And then that ended completely. So while I was in meditation, wondering how to carry on the support, I got the idea of a virtual journey. And I knew it could be tricky because there's no live webcams, as in, some of the places in Kruger, there's live webcams that you can watch 24/7. Some of the safari companies do actually have guided safaris online now, but we don't have the technology in the bush to do something like that. But I thought, what happens if we just record it and then play it back? And I didn't know if this was going to work. Simon, we had to learn as we were going. We didn't have a camera team, so Simon had to learn how to video and edit, and it was all literally guided by the lions. And the first group was 20 pioneers people that I'd personally invited because I trusted and I knew if it all went belly up, it wouldn't be too bad. But it was an incredible success. We couldn't have asked for anything better, really. We couldn't have planned it better. And when I say the lions planned it, actually nature and the animals just choreographed the whole thing. We just had to ask them, just tell them what we were doing, and they showed up in the most incredible ways. So that really helped us to trust in this process. And that was one of the cards that I actually drew today before the call, was the card of trust the process. So where the journey takes place, most of you, well, obviously it's in South Africa, but it's in the Limpopo province of South Africa. Where I am now is where that little dolphin is. That's where Simon and I are sitting. If you look on the right-hand side, Sow Conservancy is just above Thorny Bush here. On this line here is the Golden Meridian, the Nile Meridian. So, and this area here is known as the Kruger to Canyon Biosphere. It's a well-known biodiversity area that is supposedly protected. And there is that very familiar map, if you do follow Linda Tucker's work and the White Lions of the Nile Meridian. And there's Timbavati, where that area is situated. Just a reminder that in January in 2020, Linda was in Davos at the World Economic Forum, and there that Asagaya Declaration of Sacred Natural Sites was held, or was given out, declared, and Sao Conservancy is recognized as part of those sacred natural sites worldwide, with many other very sacred indigenous places. This photograph below is the beginnings of a temple or a sacred stone circle that was built for nature in the heartlands and on the site where Linda's cottage, where she used to live, was struck by lightning, and every sacred object that she had collected over the last 30 years was given back to the earth by fire. And the most incredible thing, because it was one lightning strike, the house imploded. Nobody even knew it was burning, because it was burning on the inside, and no damage was done. I think one tree that was very close to the house fell into the flames, but it was the most incredible event. And Linda knew that this was a very special site, and she wasn't going to just build another cottage on it, and something bigger needed to be built to honor the space. And this stone circle was built by a very famous South African sculptor, Andries Botha, who you see on the left in the blue standing next to Linda. And this is where it was about halfway finished. And we have Sibusiso, who's one of the managers. We have two of the what we call gogos, who are the African medicine women. Chris, who oversaw the whole building operation. I think that is Agnes. That's Agnes there, who's the house, the kind of house manager, lodge keeper of the space. So that is just to give you a feel of where this all takes place. And this little picture here is the tree house, which we call the tree house, which is away from the main camp. And it is where we had to do most of our first StarLion journey because of the electricity outages. And we had a MTN cell phone coverage, and that was the only space. So with all the technological challenges and other challenges in the bush, everything still worked. And that's why, even though it's a challenging thing to present, and also I have to say too, it's a real commitment to join in on the StarLion journey. But if we go in with a heart of trust, an attitude of trust and honoring in nature, everything just works out so beautifully. So I just wanted to speak a bit about the preparation. And Simon, you're quite good at telling people how to prepare. If you want to.
Yes, I would just go back a little bit to what Wynter was talking about, the original idea of the StarLion journeys, and the fact that people would come physically because they wanted to experience the environment, they wanted to learn about animal communication, they wanted to learn about the White Lion Trust. And from our point of view, it was a huge way of supporting the White Lion Trust financially. And how do we replicate all of those things? And again, as Wynter touched on, the technology is phenomenally complicated because there is no cell phone reception. So how on earth do you have a live webinar from there, or even use a video camera and display it live around the world? So we decided that we would have to video and record and edit and show those edited videos as opposed to trying to do everything live. It would have been a step too far to try to do, because there were so many risks involved in it failing. But Wynter knows much more than I that the actual time difference between the video and watching the video is irrelevant. Time is circular, but we do take the recordings of the videos within a couple of days of you seeing it, so it's as close to real time as possible. And also, by doing that, you get the feel of the land in that season, in that time. So also in trying to replicate it, we start each day with a lion check, which is what you would be doing if you were there physically. We're trying to replicate everything as if you were there physically. So it's inconvenient for some people to think they've got to get up at 5 a.m. to watch a video, but that's not the point. What you're doing is being on the real journey, getting up. It may be cold, it may be dark, and then that's what you'd be doing if you were there. And then you'd go on this 1 hour, maybe longer, maybe shorter experience. And then you'd come back and you'd share your experiences, you discuss it, you'd workshop throughout the day, and then hopefully go out on a further lion check or walk into nature or something later on. So that's where the agenda or the itinerary comes from. And also, therefore, to create as close an experience for you as possible. This is why we say you need to clear 4 days out of your diary. And in doing so, you ask the milkman not to come, you ask to take the phones off the hook. You've really got to get the cooperation with members of your family and friends. Either they join you, or preferably they're not around, but if they are around, and sometimes you just can't help it, then they need to know that you are not going to be participating in the normal life of the family and home for those 4 days, because this is an experience, this is a retreat that you've given to yourself in order to support nature on a much greater extent thereafter. So try to clear those 4 days of all interruptions. We've mentioned having a quiet space, perhaps a room set aside just for you, just for those 4 days. Or it could be areas just for you to have a few hours experience, because you need peace and quiet to meditate and consider what you've been picking up, and to allow you to continue to pick up more messages or communicate with nature, the rocks, the trees, the animals. We've touched on the subject of time, because some of you are in different time zones, which is difficult. It can be, because 6:30 in the morning is 6:30 in the evening for someone else, and when everyone is thinking of workshopping throughout the day, actually it's the middle of the night for others. So consider that, and find a positive way of using that. I've heard of people actually switching their own time zones at their own home, but that's an unusual circumstance. But everyone has found ways around it and appreciated it. We've mentioned having nature time, and by that, some of you may be living in cities around the world, and suddenly you're in the African bushveld. So take the opportunity, if you can, to get out into nature yourself in between the workshopping sessions, so that you can just assimilate and be in maybe the local park. Go for a walk in the woods if you have them close by, or in your garden. Just appreciate the birds above you and the insects, because they could be telling you things to support what you're hearing in these 4 days. We have a strictly vegan menu at the White Lion Trust, and that might be a bit of a shift for you. But again, if you can follow that type of method of eating, then that's what you would be doing on the 4 days had you been visiting us with us physically. And to support that, there's the most amazing vegan chef at the camp, and she's kindly shared with us all of her recipes, and they're all on the they'll all be shared with you, so that if you want to, you can spend a week or two in advance preparing for this and just trying them out. Actually, they're all delicious and they're all so easy to make. But it may be a different way of doing things for you. So to take the time to immerse yourself into the whole experience by doing that as well. And the last item of preparation really is make sure you've got decent electricity and internet access. It needs to be high speed. We can, if you want to share with me, send me an email, and I can tell you all about the technical stuff. How many megabytes and megapixels and things like that. But really, everything works normally on a typical high-speed internet. I don't know what you call high-speed internet, but we're in South Africa. If it works here, it's going to work in America, Europe, Australia, and most other places around the world. So
and if it works in the middle of the bush.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but just be sure you have stable internet. And if, like me, you've got teenage kids and they're streaming stuff, then they can't necessarily while these 4 days are going. So they need to be shipped off anyway during these 4 days, not only for the streaming, but just to stop the distractions, hopefully. Anyway, I think that covers most of what we wanted to say.
You. And here's a lovely screenshot of where the actual workshop takes place when the Wi-Fi is working properly. And this is from the works. Some of you who have been to the Trust before will recognize that it's in the lounge area where we normally do the workshops anyway. And actually, Hera, I think this is a screenshot that you took that I'm using here. So thank you for that.
Was that the one with the
fireflies coming out?
Coming out of the
you
smoke?
can't really see them,
No.
but they did. I'm not sure if we took a picture of it, but it's the same time. Just a quick run through of how each day is spent. Simon's mentioned it a little bit, but on the first day, which is the Friday, we all meet at 4 p.m. Central African time, and we refer to that as Lion Time. And that's normally about maybe about an hour and a half, depending how many participants we do have. Last time we had 25 people, so it was about an hour, just over an hour. And that really is just to set the intentions for the journey. And it's a very powerful, we do quite powerful prayers and visualizations for that. Then we get up, if you're in a similar time zone to us, we get up for the morning line check. We start off with a meditation. We all gather online on Zoom. We start off with a meditation, sort of guiding into that heart space, that connecting space. And then the line check is the video, and you get given a YouTube link, a private YouTube link that you all watch off the group Zoom, so that it's crisp, and you're just working with your own Wi-Fi. You don't have to, it's not like a shared screen. We worked out that trick. And then we gather again just to connect once more. And then normally what we do is everyone goes away. Some of you will be going to bed, others will be getting on with your day, but to spend that time just revisiting that video, and you will be able to actually watch it again if you want to during the day, to revisit that energy and any information that came through. And then in the afternoon, we gather again at 4 p.m. and we start sharing the information and workshopping around it. The first day, the second day really, is workshopping about interspecies communication and the most effective way of receiving the information. This is just to remind everybody. It's always good to have a bit of a reminder and a check-in with how we do this work. And so that's the Saturday and the Sunday. The Monday we do the morning meditation as well again. and at 6:30 a.m. and in the wintertime at 6:30 because we're still dark at 6. In summertime it's 6 o'clock. So in March it was 6 and we're a little bit later this time.
You're getting a lion.
You're getting a lion lying. And then we close in the afternoon gathering with Linda and myself. Okay. So we have a community forum, which is called Slack, which is a very strange name, but it works very, very well. Each group has, each time we do a journey, we have a separate group, community group, and there, all the information you need is put up there. Announcements are made. There's a place to chat. Messages from nature are shared. We have the breakout rooms that people can reconnect off when we're off line doing the group work. Questions, if we have any meditations that we record, because we don't actually record the sessions, so that you have to show up on time. We don't record the whole sessions. So if you don't manage to be in a session, you might just have to catch up, or with your other Pride members. And we will record some of the meditations that you can work with later. Okay, and just a quick overview of people from all over the world. We did, this is an older map, so we didn't have the people from last time, but we had people from Norway and Japan as well. So that it is being expanded quite a bit each time we do a journey. One of the things that I do offer when you sign up is an introduction to animal communication and heart, which is a mini course that I've given, and that's for free when you register. And I would actually suggest, if people haven't experienced this heart work before, that you do watch the course and do the course, because it really does explain how it all works.
Is that the one with the 2 webinars and the work in between? That's
right. So the first is covers all the basics of animal communication, and then there's sort of written work in between that you can read, and videos that you can watch, and then there's another sort of webinar workshop towards the end. Just some of the things that has come out of the StarLion journeys. The second StarLion journey we did was the Sacred and Wild campaign, because it was sort of the timing was just after the arrival of these 2 lionesses who were rescued. We call them Alpha and Omega, and their message of no more with the tourist trade of cuddling lions and walking with lions, because they were in the walking with lions tourist trade, and after a tragic accident or a tragic message that was given from them, they had to be removed, and Linda did offer them sanctuary, and at the time it was temporary sanctuary. But with the work of the StarLion journey, the Heart Pride, which we developed, which is another thing that actually started from the very first journey, we all knew that they were destined to stay at the White Lion Trust to share their message, and there was no other place that they could be in sanctuary but still be honored in the way that they are currently. So they are now, they've been given permanent sanctuary. And the Sacred and Wild campaign was in order to assist with the funding for their care, and also to spread their message. And it's been very successful so far. The second thing was the establishment of the original Heart Pride, which was the first 20 members who did the first StarLion journey, and that grew with every StarLion journey. People were invited to participate with the Heart Pride's work, And now it's become something a little bit more concrete, and we have a membership platform where people can sign up. So have a look at that. I'm sure you've already seen a lot of the ads about it, and I know some of you on the call have already signed up. So thank you for that. But have a look. Registrations are open until the 11th of June, so you have some time. So just about the funds aspect of it, there it is, £300, 6,000 Rand. We do want to make this available to everybody, and you know, it is a donation, so some people give actually more than is requested. Some people can't quite manage it, but if you can motivate, you know, we want the right people to be here. It's not just about raising money. We do offer our Heart Pride members, yeah, we request less from them because you've already supported through the Heart Pride. So the Rose Gold membership, which is the highest membership, gets 50%, and the others 15 and 30. So have a look at all of that. Here's just a picture of, yeah, a collage of all the people who run the White Lion Trust, and probably the most important ones at the bottom here, Madash and Gorgeous. But then we have Tanika and Aznat in the kitchen. Enalani is our chef. And Mama Weena has been there since the very, very first footsteps onto the land. And here's Chris and Champs, two of the managers. Ruben is our guide, who you will meet hopefully on the journey. He wasn't there last time. And there's Linda and the field team, all the women getting dirty in the soil, doing the work on the land.
I think it's also important to notice that these guys were employed throughout everything, even though the groups weren't coming. These are typical people who work in lodges and cleaning the rooms and making the food and showing you guys around, and there's no visitors. So what do? But they were all continually employed by improving the land. I mean, it's a different work, but they were appreciative of getting the work. And the fact that the Virtual StarLion Journeys kept the money rolling and kept these guys paid as well, which maintained the land and the good health of all the animals and everything else that lives on it. So that's again part of the reason for supporting the Virtual StarLion Journeys, as well as getting out of it the benefits that you do, and also the Heart Pride, because you know, it all goes to support these people, to support the nature on those lands, and then the benefit of that filtering out throughout the whole world.
And just I remember Enalani is such a beautiful picture of her. Can you imagine her cracking concrete with a pickaxe? And she was doing that because
and happy to do it,
and very happy to do it.
Turn their hands to everything.
So it's an amazing team of people that Linda has there. Okay, before I go on to the questions, I'd really like to, I'm going to stop sharing now, ask Christine if she would share some of her experiences, especially about the time zones and how you coped. And
because Christine, you were on our first Virtual StarLion Journey, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on the first, and I've been on 3 altogether. So I live in Canada, and I'm in the Eastern time zone. So I'm either 6 or 7 hours, depending on the season, behind. So that means I'm getting up at midnight. And how I cope with it was just taking that sacred space, changing my routine. It becomes a rhythm. The other thing that was helpful for me, it just depends. I have a bit of not jet lag because there was no actual jet, but time zone difference. So I padded before and particularly after the journey with some time to recover. And that really made a difference. Can I share in general too, beyond the time zone? Yeah. So it's always like, what do I share? Because it's like, how do I capture this in words? And I love telling people about these experiences. So it's an opportunity and it's experience. The opportunity is an amazing opportunity to go and to be of service. And the experience is being immersed in it and being involved with others and making a difference. So it's an opportunity and experience to be of service, and it's life-changing because you're making a difference. And it's happening on so many levels because you're with all these other people that, you know, there's this beautiful sense of belonging and like-heartedness, and friendships are made and connections are made as well in the journey and beyond, and that are shared. And, you know, the questions that I hear each time there's a journey, well, you know, it's a video, it's a recording. And I'm like, I'm there, I'm on the ground. The only thing I can't do is smell it, but I can see it and I can feel it. And I see amazing land and animals and plants that are not familiar to me. And it feels so expansive. And the joy, the utter joy of, as Wynter and Simon have alluded to, the animals knowing we're there and showing up and leading the way and coordinating this experience, and the messages that are relayed, and the work that comes out of hearing the natural world's messages, and that we are a voice and we act on their behalf. And it's very incredibly empowering and like honoring, and it's a privilege to do this work. I think one of the biggest things about the Virtual StarLion Journey is that being so far away and having family commitments, that it's accessible. It's a period of time. I don't have to travel. It's friendly for the environment. It's financially accessible. And I still get to participate in a meaningful way and make that difference. I know I keep repeating those themes, but that's what's so life-changing about it for me. So I will go as often as I can. And then becoming a member of the Pride, which is totally, completely up to people. Some people just do the journeys. Some people become part of the Pride. And with the beautiful understanding that as a Pride member, you participate as much or as little as you're available, that, you know, there's options, and it's also accessible. So for me, I'm so grateful I went on the journey in itself, a highlight of my life. I'm so grateful to be a Heart Pride member. And this is some of the most beautiful, important work that I do. And I'm so grateful to have that experience. So yeah, you have to figure out some practical things, but that's just supporting you to enjoy the journey in the best way possible and participate. And you know, that's loving.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was just looking at the time. I was, because I wanted to ask Sammy, because you were on the shorter journey as well, and wondering, I don't know, Sammy, if you feel like you can say a few short words, if you're still there, because I can't see you and you're muted. Okay. Maybe not. That was jumping on, putting her on the spot, maybe. But thank you, Christine. Thank you. And I see Joe. Joe's with us as well. And here.
I believe Janine was on the most recent journey, the short one.
So, sorry?
Was Janine on the most recent Virtual StarLion Journey?
She was. She was. Janine, do you want to say something about just how you managed on the shorter journey?
Yeah, of course. I agree with everything Christine said. It was, and I've been to the Lions 4 times before, so I was really curious, was I going to feel that same deep connection? And that first Lion check, I was there, you know, I could have been in the bucky with you, just being, it felt so real. And I actually think I did smell some of the some of the nature. Yeah, and I just went so deep. And I think that was more surprising for me, that the experiences that I had previously, it just emanated those same experiences, connecting with the lions and the land, and and the people, and coming together and working in our own ways, how we were going to support nature, and then together what we were going to do. And I mean, it really was very empowering. And it also, I would agree, it's been life-changing for me. I asked questions of the lions. Where did they want me to go? What did they want? Where did they want me to direct my life? And I got answers as clear as day. And so, yeah, so on a personal level and group level, it was absolutely amazing. And I was also thinking, I wonder if I can do the next one.
I hope you can.
Oh yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely lovely. And the time, I mean, I have my office here. I have my husband and my dogs and my cat, and I have my office here. So for the journeys, for the checks and for the computer times, I was here. And then I create a little space upstairs, and I had a chair because I was quite tired getting up quite early in the morning. So I was going up and I was meditating, and then a couple of times I actually just nodded off, and it was just blissful. The whole thing was just absolute bliss.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Janine. And Gail, I see you've got a question here. All the resources that you post on Slack available for a while. Yes, they are. We haven't, the ones from 2 years ago are still there and available. And even the, the videos, you can access them for a few months after that as well. I don't keep them up all the time just because they are sort of private stuff for the trust, but they are available. Thank you. And Joe's totally agreeing with Christine. Thank you.
It's nice, Joe. Thank you.
Thanks so much. And Gail saying thank you. Any other questions? You can either raise your hand or ask in chat. Okay. All right. Please, feel free to email me if you do find you do have questions after, if you don't know if you've downloaded the itinerary. Let me just share the screen again. You can get, find the itinerary if you go to starlionjourneys.org. Go to upcoming journeys, and then you can, there's all the information is there. There's a booking form on Google Forms, but then we confirm it. If we haven't confirmed it soon after you filled in the form, then just send us an email at bookings@Starlion Journeys. And send us an email if you have any questions as well. Okay, everyone. So I'd really like to end with a heart meditation, which is something that we do when we are there, and even when we're not there on the journeys. We do it as part of the Heart Pride work. And I think what I'd like to do is just a general connecting in, and let's see what comes. And this is a picture of our beloved Mara, who is now in spirit, who is the founding lioness. She's also on the altar behind us, as you might have noticed. All right, I'm going to switch my video off again. Okay, so once more, just make yourself comfortable and feel yourself sinking into the ground again. You can either rest your eyes on beloved Mara or close them as once more you become aware of your breath and that stillness. Become aware of that field of unconditional love that we co-created at the start of the call, where your focus is on your heart center. And as we focus on this field, we expand our attention and our focus. Our field of love, we expand it beyond your own environment, over the lands and the seas, connecting with all that is. And we connect with the heartlands in South Africa on this golden meridian. We ask permission to be there at this time. And we give thanks for being in this field, being able to be in this field of connection, conscious connection with the love of Mother Nature. And now just stay with this heart connection and ask Mother Nature, how can I assist at this time? And let us wait for a few minutes and see what comes. See it, feel it, know it. Just be aware and awake to any messages that come to you at this time. Slowly take your focus back to that heart field. And from that heart field, let us see and envision a world where unconditional love guides the heart of humanity. A world where all people understand their connection to Mother Nature. Where all humans work and live at one with nature and understand that there is no separation, that we are nature as much as the lion is, or the sunbird, or the fish in the sea, or the ants, as much as the minerals and metals and soils of the earth and the water. That we are part of all of it. The only difference is the physical form and the decisions that we've made. Let us see a world where everyone comes together, where the guns are no longer necessary, whether for protection or for pleasure. Let us see any unnecessary violence towards humans, towards nature, be transformed into a harmonious space of respect and understanding. Let us hear the drum beats of Africa thrumming in our blood, because Africa is home to us all. And let us hear those drum beats in celebration of nature, of all that is, of the space that we are able to co-create and be part of, that we are able to action in physical form as well as energetic forms. Let us feel the joy in our hearts as we embark on this beautiful journey of connection, where we find the sacred space within us that is within all of nature, to breathe as one, to dance as one, to walk together, hand in hand, with the four-legged ones, the winged ones, the still ones, the planted ones. Let us be with them on this journey as we give back in service to nature as she has always served us. Let us hold on to this vision, but also let us release it into the universe. so that it can take its form in divine time as we stay in this present moment, listening and actioning when needed. Really feel this connection, this heart space, as you focus once more on your breath and you feel beloved Mother Earth beneath you, supporting you. Let us end this call with our hearts singing in communion and in community with all of you and all of nature's beautiful beings. And my heart is filled with gratitude for this opportunity to share this space with all of you. Thank you. And when you're ready, please just open your eyes and rest them in gratitude on Mara, who was rescued from the cells, the dungeons of the Johannesburg Zoo, to walk in freedom once more in the heartlands and to lead the rest of the white lions back into freedom, which is still happening at this time. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Simon, for all your support. And thank you, everyone, for showing up.
We look forward to seeing you, hopefully on this journey, and if not, the next one, and being continually updated on what the Heart Pride is doing, and hopefully participating as much as you feel is right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Until next time.